Hey guys, what's going on? It is King Jonald here. Today I'm going to be talking about the direction the Call of Duty series is taking. This game is very different than it was 5 years ago, when Modern Warfare 3 was in its prime. So what happened? It all started in the time of Black Ops 2, when the community seemed to be backlashing against Call of Duty for bringing the same game every year and having boring 3-lane maps. If you ever went to a YouTube comment section in this time, that was what many people were saying, and with all of the YouTubers also saying the same thing in many of their videos, it seemed like that was what people wanted. But suddenly, when Ghosts came out, and the maps were massive, jumbled, multi-tiered, multi-laned, crazy, random jumbles, and an all-new system of leveling, prestiging, unlocking, and a revamp of all the creative class and everything that how it works for a whole new level of customization, the community seemed to backlash. Everything that they wanted from it, that we just talked about, suddenly seemed to just go right out the window. For whatever reason, the majority of fans despised this game, calling it the worst Call of Duty game ever released. As a developer, imagine how this must have felt. To Infinity Ward, they probably thought Ghost was going to be a massive success, going off of the last two games being Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 3, two of the best-selling games in the history of any video game ever, let alone Call of Duty, and the fact that they took a lot of feedback from what they thought was the majority of the community. The disappointment they must have felt that after these two games, this game was somehow a massive flop. Now don't forget that before Infinite Warfare, our newest Call of Duty game here, Ghosts was the last Infinity Ward game made. So after that we had Advanced Warfare. And while Advanced Warfare's 3D movement was overall frowned upon on the community, it was a fresh take on Call of Duty. It was something completely new, completely different, and I really think that it was good for the community. But when the second full year of advanced movement came upon us in the form of Black Ops 3, the community really started to thrash back and complain that now we want a game without advanced movement, and a game that goes back to Call of Duty's roots, more like Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2. And the funniest thing is, Ghosts really was that game. If you go back and play it right now, it truly feels like you are playing Modern Warfare Remastered, with more attachments and more customization and just different maps and a different aesthetic. But the game, it feels like Modern Warfare Remastered. You kill so quickly. It just seems like everything that the Call of Duty franchise was, but for some reason it just never sold well. But after working for several years on a game that has so far seemed to be released in beta with no leaderboards almost 3 months after release, which is ridiculous, why wouldn't Infinity Ward listen to the pleas of our community? Well, because they had before, and it worked out terribly. They listened to the community when they made Ghosts, and their game didn't sell well, and it was called the worst Call of Duty game ever. So this year they did whatever they wanted and made their own version of the games that came out before, because in their eyes, that is what the real full community wanted. They didn't look to our little community on YouTube this time, because that let them down before. Right or wrong, they made the decision to basically ignore all feedback and do whatever they wanted. Are they really at fault? I feel that Ghosts was a masterpiece that should have been one of the most popular games, and it actually didn't get hurt by being a bad game, but by Call of Duty fans not wanting to change after Black Ops 2. If you played Ghosts in its prime, Black Ops 2 still had a bigger following, and there were still players on Modern Warfare 3 as well. It felt like Call of Duty almost skipped a year, and that Ghosts was also the first Call of Duty released on next-gen consoles. It divided the community 5 ways instead of 3. We're talking PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And now it seems like Call of Duty developers are starting to ignore the YouTube community and our feedback, with the exception of Raven Software and Modern Warfare Remastered. And they're just doing that because it's a remastered game, and really they're just trying to make it as close to the original, and they're just using the community as help for doing that. Because, really, they're just trying to make games appeal to the casual player. It's the casual player who gets on for half an hour, and plays with their friends for a little while, and doesn't put 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, or 60 days into every Call of Duty. It's the player that goes on after school and after work and plays for like an hour a day, maybe, at most. Not the players that go on and do game battles and UMGs and competitive. They're starting to really phase that out. Ever since Black Ops 2, that was the best. Whether I like Black Ops 2, which I didn't or not, it had the best ranked system of play you could ever have in Call of Duty. Ever since, there's been ranked play and Clan v Clan and Ghosts, but nothing like what was in Black Ops 2. Even Black Ops 3's wasn't as good. Black Ops 2 was the last one to have something like that. And the reason they're not doing anything like this anymore is because, in the end, what is the bigger demographic? Our little community on YouTube and the competitive players, or the casual players? And really, it's the casual players. And Call of Duty wants to make as much money as they can, and these developers communicate all their ideas. And Infinity Ward has most likely told the other developers not to listen so closely to the YouTube community, because it hasn't worked out for them. So that if the other developers are like, what do you guys suggest? What do you think we should do with this? They're going to be like, well, just make sure you're not going to be listening to that too much, because that's not the full community. That's not going to be what gets you the sales. You got to make sure that you're appealing more to the casual player, because that's who's really buying the game. And I'm sure that they've told them that a game like Ghosts wouldn't work. That's why it went to Advanced Warfare. That's why it went to Black Ops 3. It's because when Ghosts came out and it was such a flop, they were like, whoa, what's going on here? What's happened? And that's why then these new games, the last 3, have been so different. So they're trying to see what the community really wants. And I think in the long haul, I think Infinity Ward is just scared to try something different after all the hate that was on Ghosts. Infinity Ward is just scared that if they made a different game, that it's going to turn out like Ghosts again, and they're going to be used as the beating stick for Call of Duty fans again. So instead, they tried to play it quote-unquote safe and make a game that was very similar to the last one in Black Ops 3, and made it just Infinite Warfare, and changed up the story, and the multiplayer is a little different, but in the end, it's a very similar game to Black Ops 3, and it's really because Infinity Ward just doesn't want to change anything too drastically and drive fans from their game again. But I digress. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it shed some light on why the developers are doing what they're doing, and really why maybe why Ghost was not the most popular game. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, and feel free to leave a comment if you agree or disagree or have anything to add to what I said. Anyways, this has been King Jonold. I hope you guys all have a great day. See ya.
Time's almost up. Mission accomplished. A good day's work.